Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Teacher and Coach Conference organized by BAMSA and RealBridge. My name is Milan Matsura and I'm a professional coach and player. If you want to know more about me and what I do, just go to milanbridge.com and you will find most of the projects I'm working on at this moment. I'm very honored and happy to be one of the speakers at this conference because I'm devoting my last years to develop teaching methods and playing methods both for me and for the coaches who works with young people. And it was very hard to choose the topic which I will talk about at this conference, but at the end, I'm very happy that I chose one of the most difficult ones, but at the same time, a very important topic, which is how to teach bridge simply and effectively. I hope that I will succeed and that you will leave the comments below the video if you learned something new, what you think about this method, and if it actually affects your own game. So let's have a look and let's start with a simple announcement. What I like to say to people: bridge can be easy, but people make it difficult. This might be a very strong statement, but when I talked to top level players and to top coaches in the world, some agreed, some disagreed, but then we had a discussion. And well, with most of them, I succeed to persuade them, if they didn't think that we can just make bridge simple, fun, and easy. So let's see if I can do the same with you if you are not persuaded yet. So first, what is bridge? And we can just look at this question from various perspectives, but we can say that bridge is a card game. You can play it at home with friends in the school. It can be just a game. It just depends how you view the game. It can be an e-sport. You can play online, you can play with computers, even with your friends right now on various bridge platforms. So very important part which is slowly developing in past years, and this is where we are way behind other games. But bridge can be a sport, or let's say a mind sport, if we just play it competitively on national, international level, and that can be at the end difficult like any other sport which is played competitively. But what we try to work on is the game of bridge and an e-sport, which mainly must be fun and easy to play. So the perspective I want to look at, like what is bridge, is that bridge is a game of tricks. And this is very important statement and understanding, because in my whole bridge career, which is now close to 30 years, everywhere I went and every article, book, video I'm seeing, I'm just hearing high card points. Everywhere it's high card points. But very important thing to remind ourselves and to go back to early beginnings of bridge, that bridge is a game of tricks. It's a trick-taking game. Bridge is a game of logic. This is very important when you talk with young people, that they need to think. And very often at the beginnings, we just give them the guidance. We just tell them, do this and this and this. But for me as a parent with a 4-year-old, I can see how young minds develop so fast if we give them the right tools. And logic is one of the best tools to start learning from the beginning, and bridge can be actually a tool, a game, which teaches logic. And last but not least, bridge is a game of strategy, and it's a partnership game where you try to outsmart, outplay your opponents, and for that you choose various strategies in the bidding systems. That's a complete strategy, a unique language, what you are trying to develop with your partner. You try to set up the defensive strategies, card play strategies, and also psychology and those kind of things. So very important part of the game, which very often we forget about that there is a strategy, and for every strategy there should be a counter strategy. And I regret that many books focus only on the strategy and not on the counter strategy, why these things are. Okay, so let's start with an example, because we like to see cards, we like to talk about cards. So here is a hand. How do you evaluate this hand? You can even pause the video right now and you can think what you can say about this hand. And it's standard and it's natural the way how we think that people start counting high card points. So that's like what's our nature. That's what we are taught from the beginning. Count your high card points. And you know, it can be very difficult. 4 plus 3 plus 1 and so on. So we are trying to develop like faster methods how to count high card points, because it's not easy to count to 20, 40, adding numbers together. And this is where I found out that high card points is actually the disease of bridge. It's making it so difficult at the beginnings that we just need to think and change this game in the way of counting high card points. Because even I hear from people or from coaches who teach from the beginning future bridge players that mini bridge is a great game to start with. But just think about that, what mini bridge is. You just tell people, take your hand and count your high card points. There is no logic about that. There is no strategy. And certainly it doesn't help you to figure out how many tricks you have. Because counting high card points is a completely artificial scale, which is later on transferred to tricks to set up a contract. And even in the card play, you are, or many people are thinking high card points while they're playing a trick-taking game. So this is the thing, and I know that this is so controversial that I'm saying let's stop counting high card points, start using our heads, and start thinking tricks. And this is how it can work. It can be very easy, and in the following video I will show you how to teach that from the beginning. But we can just go a very simple way and we can count how many tricks we have. And we can divide them in honor tricks and length tricks. Honor tricks might be easy. I have ace of hearts, king of hearts, ace of clubs, king of diamonds, ace of spades, and well, queen probably I want to score as well. So I have 6 honor tricks. Well, for the length tricks, those are tricks on small cards. So jack of hearts probably scores 1 more heart, maybe more, I don't know. Maybe I can establish a club trick. So this is one way of thinking. But counting to 9 is much easier to count to 21. Will 21 help me to set up the contract? How many tricks I score? Well, not much. I need to learn the scale. But if I just see that I have 9 potential tricks, suddenly I know that I might score 9 tricks out of 13. And it can be even easier with strong or unbalanced hands. You can just count like what is less. So when I see like plenty of honors, I don't care how many high card points I have. I care how many tricks I will win or how many tricks I will lose. And if I identify those honors which I'm missing as queen of hearts, king of clubs, ace of diamonds, and king of spades, this is much easier. I count it up to 4. And now my goal in the bidding is to try to find out if partner has these honors, so I can make even 12 tricks, potentially 13 tricks. Or if I declare any contract which prefers to be in hearts or clubs, in no trumps, it depends on what information we exchange or what's partner's hand as well, then I focus on these honors in my opponent's hands. And I don't care if it is like 10 points or 15 points, I care about particular honors. So this can be difficult, but let's say how to start step by step from the beginning with kids which can be age around 10, and they can have fun while teaching this top level bridge. And top level bridge doesn't necessarily need to be the difficulty. The psychology and stamina and partnership, that's the difficult part of bridge, not setting up the contract or having a betting system. So let's have a look on these 5 steps, because this is like the stairway to heaven from the beginning to top level competitive bridge. So first, just try to learn taking tricks, learn the basic rules. Step 2, setting a contract. So learn the value of honors, learn what it is contract and how many tricks we need to make. Focus on the card play. Step 3, simple bidding. So stop like talking during the game, start using your bidding boxes and just try to set up a contract in, let's say, a bridge artificial way. Only then step 4, have a bidding system, but it must be easy. But already some kind of a system like language which you communicate with partner. And only the next step for the top level competitive players is fine-tuning the system. So thinking about the small things, trying to understand some conventions and how to make it more, let's say, effective, and how to be able to bid every simple hand effectively. And whenever I ask people who use high card point method, they're happy if they set the contract right in 75-80% of the time. Well, with my method, I'm not happy with 80 because that's the bottom of my statistics. I want to be above 90 or close to 100% when setting up a contract. Of course, if it is one way, it might be easier. If it is competitive, it might be more difficult. But let's have a look how to set up or how to play from early beginnings. Taking tricks. So train winning tricks by playing contracts. And that's a very easy trick-taking game for individuals. I found out that it's much better to start playing individually because people focus only on their part and not trying to communicate with the partner, which is already a difficult part. So what do you need for this game of contracts? Just 2 decks of cards, sometimes 1 deck is enough. It's a game for individuals, so everybody play on his own. How to play is that the dealer, so who distributes 13 cards to each player, chooses trumps or no trumps. Just like that, it doesn't matter. At the beginning, you will just choose no trumps, and in game 3 or 4, you introduce trumps. You go step by step. Teach on a game. So practice it from the beginning. And each player on his own decide how many tricks she or he wants to make secretly. Write it down on the paper and the mobile phone. Maybe even remember it, but I don't have good experience with that. It can be any amount. You can say 0, you can say 13. It just depends what you do, what is your strategy. So this game teaches strategy from the beginning. It teaches the value of the cards, and it teaches the basic rules. Dealer leads the first card, and then you just play clockwise like bridge rules. So whoever takes or have the highest card wins. Very simple. To win, and this is a very important rule, different from bridge, is that each player must make exactly the number of tricks they decided in the beginning. So bidding, you just announce or write on the paper, actually not announce, write secretly how many tricks you want to make, and then in the card play you try to make exactly that number. Why this is important is actually the scoring at the end, and it must be relatively simple but at the same time competitive. To me it proved that start playing fun but competitive from game one is very important, because I use this game for recruiting, and even in my first class we already play a tournament. So at the end we have a reward, we announce the winner. The rules must be very simple, but at the same time we want to say that bridge and also the game of contract is a game of skill. And this is very important, what distinguish bridge from the other card games and other games in general. It's not a game of luck, or the luck plays a very small part. So you have to make the contract precisely. If you do not make your contract, you lose points, or you are actually not losing, you are giving points to other players who made their contract. If all four made, nobody get points. If all four players do not make their contract, nobody get the points. So only those who make gets, depends on how bad or how others played. And this is very important, because this teaches to play from the beginning till the end. So if you do not make your contract by one trick, one more, one less, you give 10 points to others. 2 tricks 30, 3 tricks 60, 4 tricks 100, and you can see this exponential line, which is very important, because you want to teach from the beginning that you must make a strategy which is kind of precise, because if you lose, you don't win, but you don't want to lose much. And this is very important and very fun on this very simple game of contract. Then you just play 4 games, and whoever has most points wins. Very simple. You can finish 4 games in an hour or in 45 minutes. So you can just play in the school with kids, or at home, and have fun in the very short time. See that the rules can be explained from person to person in 5 to 10 minutes tops, and you just play and have fun. Very useful tip, not like in bridge that you cover the cards which are played. You just keep the cards open, and you just put the card which won the trick like in a different way, so at the end you can see which cards won the trick, because this way you are programming the players' minds, not the bad way, but the way that they see which cards are winning the tricks repeatedly. So later on, when they choose their strategy, guess what? They will start counting those tricks like in practice from their own small experience. And the important thing is that this experience must be the one that they keep on with their hopefully long bridge career. Try not to teach and try not to learn anything which are not useful in the future. Step 2. So you change the individual game to a partnership game. So you start playing with partnerships and you add bridge rules already. So you introduce players' roles. So that's step 2. You can play the first part of the game for 3 lessons, 5 lessons, even half a year, whatever you like, depends on your kids. So you introduce the declarer, the dummy, the defenders. North-south plays together, east-west plays together, so all of that you can do. You set the contract in this version of bridge already for the partnership. I will show you how. You change the strategy that you are trying with your partner to make as many tricks as possible, because you already play with dummy and you are fulfilling a contract for your partnership. You can still use just 2 decks, you don't need bidding boxes at this stage at all. And the dealer changes every game. You can play 4 games and then end, or you can just play as long as you want, as much time you have, or as fast your players are. What's the most important? Evaluate the hand properly from the beginning, from day one. Stop using high card points. Start using the words honor tricks. Why? Because honors are winning tricks. What are honors? Aces, kings, and queens. Yes, now you might say the jacks and tens and so on, but if you ever taught bridge to beginners, especially kids, they're just taking their aces home, their kings and queens. And guess what? If you just add these tricks together, if 4 aces wins the trick, 4 kings or 3 kings wins the trick, 2 queens or 3 kings, at the end you will have a total of 10 honor tricks in the game. And this is what you want to teach. 13 tricks in total, 10 of them most often is win by honors, and the rest by the other cards, by the small cards. And it's just a matter how we call them. But what I like to distinguish is honor tricks winning with high cards and length tricks winning with small cards. It might be jack, 10, 9, but as well it might be the 2. So introduce length tricks as soon as possible. And it's very simple. A length tricks is a small card which won a trick besides, let's say, the first 10. So we have the presumption 10 honor tricks, 3 length tricks. And if we just have that, you will see that if you play, this is most likely what will happen in most cases, especially with balanced and semi-balanced hands. So how to set up the contract? First, each player loudly announce how many honor tricks he or she has. So remember, total 10. Ace, king 1, queen half. Dealer, well, the future declarer, suggests trumps or no trumps. So we will already have a kind of a bidding. Free partner confirms the contract or suggests unsuit. So this is already a partnership game. This must be quick so people don't lose attention like it is in the mini bridge where you just announce how many cards you have where, how many high card points, when the player try to compare the tables and so on. This is very easy. Announce how many tricks you want and then just play. So then the 4 defender to the left of the dealer / declarer will just lead the first card and you play the bridge rules. So now dummy goes down and the declarer starts making the plan. How to choose the contract? So when you do not have a 5 card, so you have maximum 4 card in the suit, you suggest no trumps. So the dealer will just say, I would like to play no trumps. And then partner says, okay, let's play no trumps, or I want spades as trumps. If he has a 6+ card, and this is important to teach, 6+, that's a trump suit. And we know that if you are balanced, you must have minimum 2 cards. So all of that, sooner or later, you can introduce and you can tell. But very often you don't have to. And this is the beauty of this approach. You don't need to teach the kids. They will learn themselves by practicing because they like to win. They want to set up the contract properly. 5 card suit. So if you have a 5 card suit, you suggest this suit as trumps. Partner, I would like spades as trumps. Partner either accepts having 3+, so this is introducing the fit. He sets own trumps if he has 6+, or he can suggest his 5 card as well, or he just say, let's play no trumps because, well, we don't have a fit. And if the declarer has 6+ card suit, he just said spades are trumps, game over. And that's it. 6 card suit, 6+ card suit is trumps. Well, the next step is when you play trumps, you just add honor tricks together, and out of those 3 length tricks, you count 2. That's the setting up the contract. That's it. So my honor tricks plus partner's honor tricks together +2. Only we know that queens are half, so if you have less honor tricks, 1/2, you round the queen down because most likely the queen will be taken. If you have more than 5 honor tricks, you round it half up. So this is the way how you set up the contract. If you have no trumps, it's just honor tricks plus 1, 2 tricks. Well, sometimes even more. and that depends on how many honors we have. So if it is 50-50, so 5 honors each or around, then whoever makes more tricks wins. That's it. You don't even have a contract. You play no trumps, whoever makes 7 wins. In high card points, it will be those 20-20 high card points. Whoever reaches 1 no trump first will declare it, and then it's fight who makes 7 tricks. So this is what it is, but in a much easier way. If one pair has advantage, so let's say you will open a strong no trump 15-17 or even stronger, well then you must make 2 length tricks, because you will be deciding which suit will be played, and also you round the 0-5 down at this stage, because it will be tough to make those length tricks. But if you have the majority of high card points, so opponents will win 1 or maybe 2 honor tricks, then you round that up and you count 2.5 length tricks. So this is more like for slamish bidding, 11, 12, 13 tricks when players have very weak hands. Now, make the scores easy to count. So the bridge counting, bridge scoring is again very difficult, because each contract has different points. Then you compare the points with others. You subtract them, you compare with a table, you compare and you get imps, those imps you transfer to VPs. It's like so complicated that even world-class players sometimes do not know how the imps scores or how the match points are scoring in percentage. Very difficult. So make the scoring very easy. We have the contract set up. If both pairs make the contract, so North-South was supposed to make 7 tricks and they made 7 tricks, it's a draw. So 1 point each. See, this is teaching match points later on, which is like the most common competitive game later on. If you win, so if you are better than the contract which you set up, which is based on the table, but believe me how precise this is. Just try it at home. Try it with bridge players and you will see how precise this method is and how easy. So winning 2 points, losing 0 point. You just play how many games you want and that's it. Example. Everybody has their 13 cards, they sort them out, and they count their honor tricks. So North, 2 kings, 2 honor tricks. East, 2 aces, plus a queen, 2.5. South, ace, king, 2 queens, 3 together. West, ace, king, queen, 2.5 together. So North-South has 5 honor tricks, East-West have 5 honor tricks. This is what everybody preferably write down or announce. And now the bidding. North as a dealer just have a 5 card, so say I suggest spades as trumps. That already means I have 5. South will think I have only 2, so I don't like spades as trumps, but I suggest clubs as trumps. I have 5. And North will say, okay, let's play clubs as trumps. And this is actually entertaining because people need to communicate now and they need to set up the trumps. And this is later on actually the bidding, how the bidding goes. You open a spade, partner doesn't have a fit, so he replies his own suit or he says, I want to play no trumps. But start with announcing, start saying the strategy out loud, because this is not just for you, this is also for the opponents. And because the dealer changes every single game, then every single time one player will be declared. So together 5 honor tricks, 2 length tricks because we play trumps. North-South must make 7 tricks for a draw, 8 tricks to win, 6 tricks to lose, so East-West wins in the defense. Very simple. This is how it looks in the practice when I played in the school. See that the cards placed well on the better surface. Jack of hearts, 8 of hearts, 4 of spades are played cards. All the cards which are not in the middle are already played. Notice one important thing, and this is this is new to me, what I just used right now with my first group. It's just changing teaching bridge completely. You just turn around the card which won the trick. Still, both players mark the card that they won, but they turn around the card which won the trick. Why? Because again, visually, the players see which cards are winning tricks, and believe me, at the beginning you will always see 4 aces, you will see 3, potentially 4 kings, and based on that you will see around 2 queens. So this method is precise, not just right now, but later on the expert level as well. But later on you will learn better card play techniques, so the jacks 10s will start winning tricks. And then the small cards. Every single player gets an immediate feedback from the beginning. They know if they wrote down how many honor tricks they wanted to make. They have their strategy, they have their focus. I want to win those tricks as honor tricks. And they are developing strategies on their own how to make them. But of course, you can later on introduce sacrificing an honor, finessing, X-passing, and so on. See, this was just step 2. But how much they learned, and still no bidding at all. Now let's move on and simple bidding. Counting length tricks can be very easy. So if you have a 4 card, again 4 3 3 3, you introduce it, 1 length trick, 5 card, 2 length tricks, 6 card, 3 length tricks, 7 card, 4 length tricks, and so on. As simple as that. The more cards I have, the more tricks I can score on small cards. If this suit will be trumps, well, guess what? It will be pretty easy to win my small cards. Finding combined trick potential. So trying to figure out together what we have. Logic. My honor tricks plus my length tricks is my potential. Then if to my potential I add partner's potential, well, we have the total combined trick potential, correct? And still you need to separate those things. Honor tricks, they are good for any contract, what we play, but also what opponents play. And this is super important later on in competitive bidding. And then minimum 2 length tricks, what do we have? Because if I have a 5 card, I want to work on my 5 card to establish those 2 length tricks. So already from the beginning, you are setting them up, the strategy, how they should declare. If they have a full card, if they have a balanced hand, they will either have 4-4 together, and they will know which they will work on, but they will struggle because it's very difficult to establish a full card. So simple bidding for beginners, simple bidding system actually, because now you start using your bidding box. The presumption, we expect partner to have at least 1 honor trick. And that's important. Just 1 honor trick. Sometimes partner might have nothing, but very often more. But the presumption is we expect partner to have 1. So the opening is 1 level contracts. You must make 7 tricks. So now you introduce contracts after, I don't know, half a year of playing. Maybe sometimes if you teach older people, this will be lesson 3 already. You can just work with that. It's up to you and up to your group you are teaching, but the same thing. So honor tricks plus length tricks in my hand is 6. So if I have a 5 card, because opening 1 level, always a 5 card, because I have 2 length tricks, so I need 4 honor tricks. To have a potential of 6 plus 1, we will make 1 level contract. If you play no trumps, it's much more difficult. So you expect 2 length tricks in general. You cannot make more. That's what is kind of certain in with balanced and semi-balanced hands in no trumps, because either we make more honor tricks or opponents scores length tricks. So for 1 no trump, you must have 4 honor tricks. And, well, if you will play, you will see that it will be a range from 14 to 18 high card points, kind of. So the system kind of works. It's transferable. Just multiply honor tricks by 4 and plus minus 1, and you will have your high card points. That's how simple it is. or divide high card points by 4 and stop calling them high card points. They're honor tricks. If you want to open second level, you must have 7 tricks. You expect partner to have 1. So if I have a 6 card, I have 3 length tricks, so I must have 4 honor tricks. If I have a 7 card suit, I have 4 honor tricks, therefore opening second level must have 3 honors, 4 length tricks, all the time together. So 5 and 2, and so on. If I have only a 5 card, then I need if I have a 5 card, I have 2 length tricks, so I need 5 honor tricks. So that's even opening 2 no trumps, 5 honor tricks. Opening third level, forget preemptive and these things. We try to set up a contract. We try to focus on the card play. Still the same goal, learn the value of cards, and so on. And you can keep going. And this system is so easy that even with the responses, is that if partner has 1 honor trick or less, it just passes, we have the contract set. Even the opponents can do the same because it works the same for them. So it's already competitive bidding at this level, but you are bidding if you have something. So you are making contracts not down 5. The contract should actually be plus minus 1 at the end. But with this simple bidding, you can already score the bridge hands. It depends, like bridge scoring, it depends on your group. Step 4, having a bidding system. So this is what many people teach from the beginning. Already start from step 4, or when you teach mini bridge, you basically start step 3 in a very tough way. Right now, bidding system do not teach any conventions. You can introduce high card points, but if it is possible, try to avoid using them as possible. I'm working on this method of honor tricks, and also the systems can be described very easily with honor tricks. For example, opening 1 level, 12 high card points plus. Well, guess what? 12 divided by 4 is 3 honor tricks. But then you expect partner to bring you 2 tricks. Because if you open with a 5 card or with a balanced hand, 3 plus 2 is 5. That's the minimum amount of honor tricks together on the side, because it's half of 10. That's very simple. So you might have a system with standard 1 level openings, like longer minor, 5 card major. You want to introduce some kind of a strong openings. So when you have 6 plus honor tricks, because that's already more than half of honor tricks you have on your own. So 2 clubs is 6 honor tricks, but you have trumps. 2 no trumps is 6 honor tricks, but you don't. And you will see 6 honor tricks. It will be a range of 19 to 22 high card points. So this is what the majority of people use as 2 no trumps opening. Then you can introduce already preemptive openings. You can show that having a system might differentiate if the strength is in your length tricks, so scoring trumps, scoring small cards, or if you have honors. And suddenly you can introduce competition, prevention, and so on strategies. This is what bridge is about: game of tricks, logic, and strategy. You can use high card points, but better avoid it if it is if you are capable of. No conventions, forget any kind of conventions. You don't need them to set up a contract. You can use time and transfers, but mainly only because everywhere around in all the bridge apps we have stayman and transfers, and if we don't teach them at some point, players will be confused. But I hope that we will develop apps which will avoid like these high card points and any conventions. Make general rules. So you must have certain amount of tricks, you must have certain amount of cards fit together to go certain level. These are the general rules. If you don't have a fit with no trumps, for 2 no trumps we must have minimum 6 honor tricks, because 2 we will work on length tricks. So simple as that. For free, no trumps, which is a game you can introduce it right now. If you use bridge scoring at this stage, for free, no trumps, you need 7 honor tricks, and you will work on those 2 length tricks, and so on. Same things, differentiate balanced, semi-balanced, unbalanced, and goulash hand. For that, for the definition, look at my website. I already have videos about that there. Respond with tricks. So 1 heart opening is 6 tricks. If I have a fit and I have 2 tricks, guess what? 1 heart, 2 hearts. 6 plus 2 is 8. We have the perfect contract. 1 heart, 3 hearts, 6 plus 3. See, bidding 3 hearts means I have 3 tricks. That's what is simple. 1 heart, 4 hearts is 4 tricks, and so on. And if you already have a system where 1 heart might be 6 to, let's say, 8 tricks, then suddenly 1, 2, partner has 2. If I have 8, it's 10 together. So this is kind of invitational bidding, but you don't need high card points at all. And of course, this step 5, fine-tune the system, and that's already for competitive play, where you have a comprehensive system, where you try to teach useful conventions, and you try to teach why other conventions are not good, even though a lot of players are using them. And this is the tough part. For this, you need a professional to tell you why. Not just that this convention shows stop bidding your system, start bidding your hand. So bid your hand. The system is only a tool how to reach the best possible contract. But in order to do that, you need to count tricks and not follow the prescribed system, which can be forgotten. So what I use and world-class players use is just normal, standard, longer minor, maybe club from 2, but whatever, you don't need that. Strong 2 clubs, by the way, I strongly recommend you to go to my website for competitive players. It's nuts, and it's already working with the trick-based system. Preemptive openings, you can vary out with transfers, 2-seaters, multi, whatever, because people needs to understand them, and so on. So teach only what is useful, and tell why the other conventions are kind of bad, that they're helping only opponents and not you. Last but not least, from the beginning till the end, you should motivate the kids to compete, because without the competition, it's very hard to change those kids to real bridge players. And although it's nice that we might have thousands of players in the school, we might have only individuals in competitions. So we will want to change this percentage, and it's mainly due to, let's say, competitive aspect, which is supported by the friendship, by creating the social groups that people play together, they spend time together, they're thinking strategies, they discuss bridge, and that's at the end what keep them playing, the social group. But very often the social group is connected to competitions, to playing online, and to go on international tournaments. And this is hopefully the topic of other speakers, and definitely one of my future goals, to create enough options for people to play. What is important to show your students is that bridge is fun. Day one, play the cards. Don't learn difficult things. Don't introduce like tables, trying to learn graphs and stuff. Bridge is fun. Make it simple. Bridge is easy. You just count up to 13. That's the magic number. And you might say, when you play bridge, you never ever need more to know than just count to 13. Then just use your logic and choose strategies which will tell you if it is 7, 8, 9, or 10, maybe 13 at some day, but not more, not 40 high card points, not like czar points and other points where you have those decimals and stuff. Yes, this trick-taking method might be even more precise, and I have that for advanced players, but make it easy at the beginning. And just to repeat, bridge can be competitive, so motivate your students. Well, thank you very much if you stayed till the end. I hope that you enjoyed, and I will appreciate if you leave a comment below the video and what do you think about this approach, and if you actually learned something new, and if you want to change your style as well. Also, you can contact me. My contact is everywhere. milanbridge.com is where you will find it for sure. Thank you and take care, and good luck with getting new bridge players.